Hi, my name's Ilma and welcome to my channel. I have been posting Christian blogs 13 straight years every day. Today I'd like to share Daniel 8 verses 1 to 8. Here's the word of God. In the third year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared to me, Daniel, after that which appeared to me at the first. And I saw in the vision, and when I saw, I was in Susa, the citadel which is in the province of Elam, and I saw in the vision, and I was at the Ulai canal. I raised my eyes and saw, and behold, a ram standing on the bank of the canal. It had two horns, and both horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the and the higher one came up last. I saw the ram charging westward and northward and southward. No beast could stand before him, and there was no one who could rescue from his power. He did as he pleased and became great. As I was considering, behold, a male goat came from the west across the face of the whole earth without touching the ground. And the goat had a conspicuous horn between his eyes. He came to the ram with the two horns, which I had seen standing on the bank of the canal, and he ran at him in his powerful wrath. I saw him come close to the ram, and he was enraged against him, and struck the ram and broke his two horns, and the ram had no power to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground and trampled on him. And there was no one who could rescue the ram from his power. Then the goat became exceedingly great, but when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and instead of it, there came up four conspicuous horns toward the four winds of heaven. Daniel 8, 1 to 8. Here's my commentary. According to another commentary, Daniel was in Susa, which is now modern-day Iran, when he had this vision. Elam was the name of the province where Susa stood when Daniel wrote this book, not necessarily when he had this vision. Susa became Esther's home 107 years later. It was the city from which Nehemiah departed to return to Palestine. That's in Esther 1 verse 2 and Nehemiah 1 verse 1. The citadel was the palace that housed the royal residence, and it had strong fortifications. According to other sources, the ram, which is a male sheep, that Daniel saw standing before the canal represented Medo-Persia. Excuse me, that's in Daniel 8 verse 20. And the two horns representing power symbolized Media and Persia. And the two horns representing before the canal represented Medo-Persia. The two horns representing power symbolized the two kingdoms that formed an alliance to create power. And the goat in verse 5 represents Greece. That's in Daniel 8:21. And the conspicuous horn between his eyes is clearly Alexander the Great, as history proves. Normally, goats have two horns, so this goat was unusual. Under Alexander the Greek, armies advanced quickly from the west against Persia. So, reflection. Why do you think Daniel's vision involved animals and not direct kingdom? Because I think it's most of the visions that we see are not directly, literally shown to us. So especially in visions, they are symbolic of something. And so here we see that the Medo-Persians was symbolic, that the ram was symbolic of the Medo-Persia, and the goat is symbolic of Greece. So I think that the kingdoms are represented by animals because eventually these kingdoms will be taken over by spiritual kingdom, which is Jesus's Christ kingdom. So when the Lord reveals something, it is up to him to reveal the whole thing or just in parts. And it says in the book of Corinthians that we will know in full at the end of time when Jesus comes back again. So we are only given vignettes of what we need to see. Can you imagine if we know everything, just like God, what do we need a God for? So I think that God gives us little by little truth and things that we can continue to hold on to Him and hope on Him. Because here it shows that kingdoms and earthly kingdoms are not are not eternal, are not everlasting. They are with end. So, in other words, we need to more or less, I think that's why we're given this vision of the ram and the goat, is for God to show us through Daniel that these kingdoms are gonna come and go, and they will be great at one time and they will go down the next time. But when Jesus' kingdom comes, it will never be destroyed. Thanks for watching. I hope you check my website at ILMA'S.com for artworks, photographs, and a copy of this blog. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube so I could make more videos, give you the Word of God. And if you haven't already, check over 4,000 videos I've done over the years I've been doing this daily. Just type on YouTube or Google search ILMA'S Poem Devotional. Have a wonderful day.